Alright, we're back outside. We have our little figure here. As we're working, let me get my knife here. Okay, then now we want to kind of work on this area in here. And we want to get some of that wood out of there, okay? See, I don't have the tip of my knife that I have to get in there and break anything or do anything. I can just slowly remove some wood as I go along. Making the arms just a little bit thinner. I always make things bigger at first, okay? The hands, all that stuff is going to be bigger at first, and we cut it down because that means we have plenty of wood to work with. If you go too thin and then you find out that you've cut your hands too thin, then you have issues with some of the stuff and everything like that. All right, let me get this. Let me turn this over. I am so sorry. I want to get this a little bit closer and work this as we go. Okay. Now, let's also begin to come down with this. We're gonna go along and come down with the head. Let me come down just let me come up just a little bit. I am so sorry. It's just out here sometimes it's very hard to see that I'm working on. The glare as I look down into my camera is hard. It's difficult. Most people know that I am not I don't show myself all that much. And I kind of joke around, if you looked at me and saw my puss, you would probably know why I don't. But this we're gonna work the head down. But I don't, you know, like Doug. He shows himself and those type of things. I like to just concentrate on the carving and not so much myself. That's what I want you to concentrate on more than anything, is the carving itself. Okay, now once again, let's cut a little bit more in here, and let's bring it up in here a little bit. Take your time. Don't get in a hurry. The main thing. Now, I know that I hurry up. A lot of people have commented that, well, you know, what you can do in an hour or a day or whatever it is takes me 3 days to do. Well, that's all right. Okay, I've been carving a long time, and you don't want me to take 3 days to do this video, do you? So I think you're getting my drift in that sense. So yes, I carve a little bit faster than maybe I should, but this video is not only going to be the carving part, but it's also I'm going to show you how to set the little fishing pole and all that other stuff. In other words, as we go through it all. Okay. But as you see, you can see the design that we have here. Okay. Now, I always do emphasize the faces, and I'm sorry if it's a little bit hard for you to see because actually the arms are supposed to do this. They're supposed to actually come up here. Okay? They're supposed to come up here, so I have to bring this area back. I can also do it with my the bottom part of the carving. as we bring that back. Stuff. Okay. So a lot of this area is going to be cut, and you just do it very slowly. Don't force your knife. Don't ever force your knife to, as we see with a lot of people, in other words, as they let themselves get, you know, kind of. Don't ever force your knife, because that's how knives break off. It's a knife. It's not a shovel. You don't want to be digging with it. But you can get your knife blade in here, in these areas, and you can just, if you're sharp enough, just run your blade along there and start removing little slivers of wood as you do that, in other words. And slowly but surely, you'll work up what you need to do. Okay? It's a neat little carving. It is. It's a very neat little carving that, and it's a fun carving. It's a very fun carving that we're doing. And I want to kind of make a cut right in here and come in here and just sort of lift that up and get rid of that, and make a little cut in here where the arm is, and just dig that out in there, trying to take out from behind the thing. Okay. All right, let's look at it. Here we go. See? Now, since I do a lot of flat plane work, this one is not as much flat plane as it could be. We began to take some of the coat right here. It's going to be down here. And we want to get a good cut right in there, in other words. Just like right here, we want a good cut. Right in there. Okay. Where we can kind of bring that forward. Because the fishing pole, which you can use basically just a piece of wire or anything like that, in other words, the fishing pole is going to go right here. All right? And see the hands, let me show you. I'm going to bring this forward just a little bit more, cut a little bit more off here. Don't want to cut too much off, because then we won't, the area that we can stick the fishing pole in. The hands are going to be basically right here. This is going to be one hand, and this hand is going to come over like this, and then that hand will be in there like that. Okay, you see that? And that's all going to be cut down. Okay, let's get back to the head now as we work on it. Okay. Now, I'm going to go ahead and run the hat across here, because he's going to have a hat on. Let's just run the hat across here to the back. And let me run this across here. And run the hat across here, okay? We're going to have a hat on him. So you know that, let's go ahead and on the hat, you know what we do. We come across here, and then we come up from this angle, and we start to make the hat. See what I'm doing? And you just take a little bit at a time as you go around that thing. You take it off of the face. You very slowly begin to remove the wood. Now you see, as we go across there, see that? Okay, I'm gonna take and move this over just a little bit. I'm sorry. So it's more toward the center. Okay. Okay. Now, on the hat, come up just a little bit and we make a little cut. On all four sides, we just make a cut, make a little indentation cut there. Come over here, just move the knife, make a little indentation cut. Make an indentation cut. And we slowly begin to just flip that and go around the hat, okay? See what I'm doing? Okay. And then we slowly begin to cut around the brim of the hat, being very careful not to go too far. I'm going to switch knives here for a minute, okay? Let me see, where is it at? Here's one that I'm going to use. I'm going to try to use this one. I'm just going to switch knives for a minute. I do that sometimes. What I have enough knives that when one I feel is getting dull or needs to be stropped, I can simply switch to another one that will take care of the business that I'm looking for. Okay, you see that? See how the hat is slowly but surely got a lot to go, but it's beginning to show a little bit of shape. That's how I do a hat, in other words. Everything that I do is a series of cuts. It's just a series of cuts that I make. I'm a whittler, folks. I don't even consider myself a carver. I am a whittler. And because 95% of my pieces are done with a knife. And the carvers use more tools. They use tools that are like gouges and V-tools and things like that. So I'm a little bit different of a breed. I am a whittler. I love to use a knife. And as I make the cuts around there, and as I do it, the hat begins to take shape. You just go from all sides and you just start removing that wood. On the brim of the hat, not putting a lot of pressure on it. You want your knife to be sharp. You want to take a little bit off at a time. You don't want to get crazy. There we go. Slowly but surely. Shaping the brim. But he would just have a fisherman would just have a regular fishing hat on. And for him it's just a regular hat, basically. Or it's an old fishing type hat that he would be wearing. He would be very proud of it. Stuff. Okay. Now let's look at our piece, okay? Let's look at our piece and move this over just a little bit. Let's look at our piece and how it looks, okay? Just gonna cut a little bit back here. And let's go ahead and work on the face a little bit. As you know, I'll tell you what, let me work a little bit more on this hat back here and elsewhere before I work on the face. Actually, I am working on the face. I'm just doing the bottom side of the hat here. It would not be a fancy hat that he's wearing. It would be a very plain hat he is wearing. Okay, I'm going to draw a line down here and a line down here, and these are our lines to start making our face. Okay, let's just go ahead and do that and come down here and do that. That is also a line or a way for our ears to be made. Okay, and we cut right here, and we come up. Of course, we plan for our nose in here. He will not have any eyes. The hat will be over his eyes, or be very close to his eyes where we don't really need them. Okay, let's just go ahead and draw a little line right there where our nose would be. and come up. Right here. Okay. Just cut a little bit off the nose. Just establishing where our nose will be. Okay, see that? Just establishing where our nose would be. Now let's go ahead and draw a little square over here for our ear. And come over here and draw a little line down here, a little square like that for our ear. Okay? And we take our knife, we cut below that, and we just remove that wood in there, and then we cut along here and we move that wood behind there. Okay, and remove a little bit more, and then we'll work on the ears here in a minute. See how that's done? Just make you a little square. I used to make a C, but I just decided I'll make the C, I'll make the square, so, and then I'll make the C. In other words, I just changed up just a little bit. It's not much. Still, you still cut it no matter what. And come back here and do the same here. We're going to cut off and come back here. Okay. Okay.